Okay, guys, I'm back. Yeah, it turns out I actually needed to, like, talk to Percy after talking to the chief, and then apparently he'll give me a lamp. Okay, that's great. Anyway, but, before we actually go into the cave to go face Bananda, and you know, come to think, I wonder if that going to this plateau and getting chameleon grass is ever going to come into play. Now that I think about it, because just glancing at the walkthrough, trying to find specifically what I was supposed to do to get the lamp, I happened to look at it, and it seems like, just at a glance, it seems like Banana is actually like going to be right there at the entrance of the cave. And I just used that nut bomb I was given by somebody in the last chapter at the resistance base to just immediately destroy him. So, okay. But anyway, there was something else. I failed to see while we were in the store that we can actually buy the word book right then and there in order to decipher the statue, so I'm curious about that. Now, I do need a coin for that, but apparently we can sell Actually, how would I do that? There's not a sell option, come to think of it. Yeah, apparently that's what the carrots are for. That keep regenerating at the tomb. That we were standing at the beginning of this chapter. How would I sell them? Do I say give carrots? Okay. Awesome. It was that simple. Are you students? I guess. We are students of various languages trying to acquire... Okay, well, let's use it. The white door will open when you show the pattern of the Salic Kingdom. I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's talking about the crest that I have. Cool, whatever. Let's get out of here. Go to the friggin' cave. Move in. Oh boy, that music is back. This means we are in another maze. Hooray. I am so glad I had the volume turned down preemptively. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Okay, let's do this. I mean, here we are at the start, so... Looking ahead, path goes forward and to the left. Oh no, apparently there's a way to the north as well. Well, north from my perspective, sitting here in my computer chair. From Sir Cucumber and Percy's perspective, obviously it's south. I'm going to have to try to keep this in mind. Oh, what the? Banana's right here. It didn't even have to go to the end of the maze. Okay. And sure enough, he's at the entrance. He seems to be more than one person, too. By the way, that's actually kind of creepy. That could be potential nightmare fuel. use the nut bomb on him. Guessing that'll do it. He exploded into pieces. The dude had like 5 faces. Are you sure it was just one person? I like how there's X's over some of the pieces like that. That was formerly the eyes. And now they're like X'd out like unconscious, cartoonishly. Anyway. Yeah. So I heard. Well, let's go east. Then, oh, you know what? Scroll down a little bit here on the walkthrough. Yeah, I'm just gonna, there's a ASCII art of the maze right here. So we're gonna try following that. I was up for the challenge once when we went through the forest maze a couple of chapters ago, but not this time. Let's just try to get this over with. Oh, sorry, I gotta click back. Yeah, my bad. Turn to the south. Looks like we're around just kind of one same curve here. You know, I can't get fooled. It's gonna be easy to like trick myself into thinking when we see screens like this. I just came around this curve, so it's the one that I'm seeing just to the left of me right now. That's where I came from. It's tempting to think of it as another fork in the path ahead of me. Just the way this is drawn out. Okay, well, there are a couple of coins in this maze, it looks like, so just to possibly make things simpler in the future, speed them along, I will try to follow them. Actually, apparently should be going to the south right now. Instead, let's go forward east to grab a few coins. Okay, now let's go backwards. And I think we should go east-left. There's another full-on intersection. Looks like there's a coin at each of the dead ends from here. Cool. Just suddenly had a vision of exploring this maze, much like I know it's hardly anything alike, but for some reason it reminded me of the way you explore dungeons in Mega Man Legends, like the sub-dungeons, ones that aren't like storyline. Because sometimes, you know, just from where you're supposed to go back out another entrance, and there was like 3 sub-dungeon entrances in Catalog's Island, like where most of the game takes place. But you could go to like several dead ends that would go on for a while to find treasure, and then have to backtrack a lot in order to actually find the way out of one of the many entrances around the island. Of course, you actually had incentive, a desire to explore to the fullest. The game was short enough as it is, but on top of that, it was actually a good game, unlike, yeah. Mechanics here, at least, are not so... Okay, yeah, I need to keep going forward. I just came from the easternmost dead end. I also went to the north previously for another dead end where there was a coin, so now it is time to turn south. God, this is actually a decent challenge, just trying to follow this according to the picture on the other monitor from the walkthrough. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. Go forward from here, apparently. Well, there is one coin at the end of a very long... Yeah, if I go south right now, there is a long single path to follow to a coin. You know what, let's do it. Just on the off chance that it'll save me some headache, trying to continuously gather coins for something in the future. You know, at least each of these pouches do have a coin in it. Some of them aren't like empty, which I recall from the forest maze, was just making you waste your time. When this maze is hard enough to navigate as it is, at least if you just didn't throw up your hands and use ASCII art in a walkthrough like I'm doing. Okay, so now we need to go back east. We originally came from the west. And there is apparently, if we go north, it's a dead end right then and there with nothing. And to the south, or to my right, there is actually just a loop around that's completely useless. Instead, we could go totally straight, make a shortcut. That's another short dead end to the north right there. The loop finished in the other from the other direction. So here, we are about to acquire an item of some sort that is really important. Kind of figured Nutty would be here. Isn't Banana the one who kidnapped her? So, like, wouldn't she be hidden in the cave? I can tell something is here. Well, maybe we actually have to look around more closely. You should trust my feelings. Well, okay. Do I talk to you to grab it? Oh. Okay, you know what? I just quickly looked at the walkthrough. The very first sentence after the ASCII art dungeon told me to use the metal. I don't know why I would have thought that. What? When you happen upon the DIce-o-Matic. Okay, how do I happen upon it? Okay, no, I did go the proper number of steps all the way. I'm at the dead end where where I thought I was at in the... You can tell something is here. Okay. So, what do we do? And you're telling me to go back to town. Why is this? Oh god, this music. Nothing here to take. Ugh. Okay, I choose look. Suddenly Percy changes his mind and says, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe there's nothing here because we see nothing right here. You say check, and he's like, you should trust my feelings. Which feelings? The ones that say there is something here, or the ones that say we should go back to town and screw this? Alright, we are going to see what's going on here. Wait a minute. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. No, Nutty, the chief and his wife's daughter, who I was supposed to rescue, she's not here in the cave. I was supposed to get her first. She is hiding in. She was hiding inside Bananda. What kind of sense does that make? Okay, let's go back to... how ridiculous. Yeah, I was actually supposed to check the remains of Bananda to find Nutty. Somehow I'm finding my way through this fast enough, and I actually don't think I'm lost or anything. Okay, Banana should be just back around this first S-curve. I was about to say, you better not make me fight him again, like where I have to find another nut bomb just because I passed him up the first time. Seriously, who would think? You know what? I should have. Knowing this game's rules in general, I should have thought about it. It's actually on me. So do we move into the... No. Just back around. Back to the remains of Bananda. Yes, thank you. Okay, so how do I get her out of here? Hit the skin? Well, that's not making her come out. It's gross, but let's keep digging. Digging for what? Is she somehow in the ground too? What's going on? I really don't know. Okay, according to the walkthrough, I just gotta keep saying take. Ridiculous. Okay, well, let's take her back to... the chief first. Let's get out of here. Okay, I think it's the other direction is the cave entrance. I don't care. Finally that awful music gone. Yeah, so... here's your daughter back. Oh, I actually need to go to the house in order to... Yeah, you're welcome, Nutty. At least you thanked me. Well, I guess the next major bad guy is going to be the last, Minister Pumpkinhead. So it said I need the DIce-o-Matic, and he gave me a battery to power it. I guess that's going to magically make the DIce-o-Matic appear at that, at the ending of the cave. Sure. Well, let's go there and get this chapter over with. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, S-curve, then just... no, we actually turn this way. Whoops, dead end. The other way. Then we keep going straight. Until we turn to the south, then it's a straight shot from here. Good. Dude, seriously? Oh, I missed something else. I was supposed to go back to the hermit for something as well. The medicine. What is that? What does that do? How does that make the DIce-o-Matic appear before my eyes to where I can finally use the accursed thing? Whatever it's supposed to do. At least I'm finding my way back and forth through here quickly enough. It looked like a dead end, not a cave entrance, but sure. Now I believe Carrot Hermit Master was in the park, so... This carrot juice is gone. Do I give him some? Or clover juice, sorry. Well, I have medicine now. You know what? Let's take a look at the walkthrough one more time and ensure that I am missing nothing before we go back through there. Get the lamp, enter the cave, kill Banana, nut bomb, destroy him, find the girl, take her back to the chief, get a battery to power the DIce-o-Matic, whatever that is with the chief, and go to Carrot Mr. Miyagi and, yeah, get the medicine from him. Okay, this looks to be it. Oh, by the way, guys, while I'm finding my way back through here, I thought of something else. When I first talked to the peanut couple, Pisha and Pija, in the park, and I was like, I just automatically assumed they were siblings. I think I know why I just automatically assume that, because it just seems like in so much, I don't even know, like in general, games are made in Japan, right? But that's not necessarily all of them, so I have no idea if Hudson is even based in Japan or whatever, but it would make so much sense if there was some kind of weird incestuous thing going on in this game as well. It seems like that's in so many video games now that seem to have some kind of emphasis on Japanese or particularly anime culture. It's freaking oh, sorry, that was a dead end with a coin. I went too far. I discovered something horrible. I was thinking of making like a video on it, just sort of commentating on it myself, but you know, I know next to nothing about movie making, so even something as simple as that probably would have taken me some time. It's just not worth the effort, especially since it's not like I LP for a living, like, you know, making money from Patreon or something. But I discovered something horrible. I went through like all of the Fatal Frame games again. The first time since I LP'd them like 6-7 years ago. Which, by the way, do please check them out if you're new to this channel. They should be pretty much premiered on my page, because they're generally kind of the first LPs I even did. But yeah, I discovered something horrible, considering, sure enough, it's just like, oh, this is so Japan. Why didn't I even think of this? But one of my favorite survival horror heroines is Miku Hinasaki from Fatal Frame 1 and 3. You probably heard me kind of gush over how cute she is, and, you know, she seems real enough and everything when I was LPing those games a while back. Oh my gosh. I actually had like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of joke that I made at the beginning of Fatal Frame 1 when I LP'd it. I said something like, when Miku was doing like a voiceover narration, starting the game off, she was like, "My brother, he was always very kind." And I made a joke. I seriously did not think this. For 1 second, I was like, oh man, you know, if Fatal Frame were an anime, then you know this would be like something incestuous going on. It would, you know, this sounds so wrong just out of context if you got like anime culture on the mind. Because every single time there is a close sibling relationship, it seems like, at least nowadays, not that I even watch anime, I just kind of like more know of it. Briefly see like plot summaries, just information about all the various anime series around the internet. Always something incestuous going on if there is a close sibling relationship. It can't just be just very sweet, down-to-earth, normal brotherly, sisterly love. Sure enough, I was looking up information on Wikia. Oh, this is the DIce-o-Matic, by the way. Let's observe what it's even like. It's half buried. Okay, do I have to dig it out? I can't believe this even got my mind off of it for even a second, but sure enough, while while looking up information on like the Fatal Frame Wikia, when I was playing through the last in the series that I had, Fatal Frame 3, this was like just the other week. Not only did it turn out that Miku did not die, for sure, she was just unconscious, like in a coma, from the... What do you mean I can't use it right? Do I use medicine on it? I thought battery was like, had to be used on this thing. Do you know how to operate it? Maybe it's the, Use the instructions? Did that have to do with operating it? No. Oh no, that's what the walkthrough meant. Again, the very first sentence underneath the ASCII art of the maze, it said use the medal on it. Or medallion. So that was, yeah, and I could, now that I'm actually looking at this up close instead of worrying about how I'm going to rant about what I'm about to rant about, there's a place, a perfectly round space for the medallion to fit into. Okay, so now do I use the battery on it? What? Oh, this is actually something I go into. Interesting. But yes, it's nice that Miku actually did survive. She didn't die, as I was want to think, considering, you know, you saw her in bed at the end of the chapter where you play as her, last chance you had to play as her in the game. And, you know, Rei wakes up having, like, dreamt her dream, Miku's dream, and, you know, because of what happened at the end of that dream, she runs into Miku's bedroom to make sure she's okay, and you saw, like, all the tattooed priestesses, or as I called them at first, the Crimson Nail ladies, all gathered around Miku's bed. And Miku had, like, the tattoo, the holly tattoo, all over her. I just took this to mean she was dead. That she followed her brother all the way in to the abyss, and, you know, death took her. No, it turns out she was just unconscious. But there was more to it than that. She apparently was not only not dead, but not dead enough to not be able to join Rei at the shoreline at the end of the game, where Rei is having to say goodbye to her fiancé, who's kind of like, you know, the accident that her fiancé Yu had at the beginning of the game that caused Rei so much grief because she had, like, survivor's guilt. She feels it was her fault. She said the accident they were into was due to careless driving. I don't know whether she meant drunk driving, whatever, but yeah, she felt guilty about it and felt that she deserved to die too. I mean, at least I got that general, you know, feeling that that's basically what it was about. So, causing Rei to, you know, end up in the Manor of Sleep in her dreams and keep seeing you everywhere and want to follow him. So she's saying goodbye to you at the end of the game where they're at that, like, shoreline where it's like the land of the dead. You know, you and the others who are finally free from this curse due to Rei's defeating the Reika. So it's like all the dead trapped by the Manor of Sleep are free to move on. And so she was at that shoreline setting, separating, I guess, which is like abstract setting, just to signify like the barrier between world of the living, world of the dead, that the dead are now moving on to, you being among them. No, it turns out Miku was apparently also there, at least according to Wikia, and it's confirmed in Fatal Frame 5, which I never played. Sorry, I got slurred Fatal Frame 5. I was trying to say something else at the same time. Which apparently never came to America. Like, Fatal Frame 4 did, I think, on the Wii, which I don't have a Wii, so I haven't played that yet either. But then in Fatal Frame 5, Japan also made a 5th game. Never got here. So, yeah, during that time, apparently, when Rei, at the end of the game, when Rei is saying goodbye to you as he and the others are going off to the land of the dead, moving on into the next world, passing on, exercised, whatever you want to say, free to move on from the curse of being a ghost. Yeah, Miku was apparently also supposed to be there. And she f***ed her brother. There's no other way to say it. Her brother was also dead. It turns out Miku's love for her brother was exactly what you now think it is. I said that as a joke. I had no idea. At the beginning of Fatal Frame 1, the way Miku speaks of her brother, I seriously did not think for a second. I was making a joke. Because just in so much anime, that's the way it is. I don't understand why that's necessary. Why we need to explore. I mean, this goes beyond just exploring the taboo. It's just... But yeah. It turns out her love for her brother was actually romantic in nature. And apparently not just that, but sexual. She was... apparently, Miku was also saying goodbye to her brother, Mafuyu, at the same time that Rei was saying goodbye to you. And they had sex. They boned. And Mafuyu was also dead at the time. I mean, I assume since he stayed in the Himuro mansion with Kyrie at the end of Fatal Frame 1, I think that was like the official ending, he felt he needed to sort of like take on her burdens or something and asked Miku to go on without him. That eventually, you know, he stayed there and died. He was basically becoming like Kyrie. A ghost. So, yeah, Miku not only screwed her brother, but he was also dead. And Fatal Frame 5 apparently confirms this by... Yeah, no, I'm just like I'm not even like playing the game right now. I'm sorry, this has all my attention. Fatal Frame 5 confirms this by the fact that Miku gives birth to a daughter spawn that is half dead, half alive. Or, I think as they called it, half from the shadow world. Like, the side that Mafuyu comes from, considering he was a ghost by the time Miku got done with him at the end of Fatal Frame 3. That's disgusting. And absolutely unnecessary. I know in a way I'm being a hypocrite, I guess, considering I'm one of those Christians that's just like, why do we need to be so concerned about what the homosexuals are doing? Because I can't understand how they feel, I can't understand their mindset. I guess it's just the fact, and you know, that's considered among like sexual taboos. Or in most religions, I'm sure, sinful, wicked. And I know I'm talking about like incest in that same sense, but here I am, you know, I'm like one of those guys that doesn't worry about condemning homosexuals, you know? Because I just don't think that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, who am I to talk? I have my own sexual sins, you know? I mean, just about anybody else. So in a way, I feel like I'm being a hypocrite by acting like, you know, oh, homosexuals are okay, as in like we shouldn't oppress them or anything. And here I am, I'm pretty much sounding like I'm condemning incest. You know what? It's like, that's only even the half of it. But if I am condemning it, it's because it's just like, why is Japan so obsessed with it? You know, that's really what creeps me out more. It's like, why does it have to be that way? The fact that Miku and her brother Mafuyu, their love was not just a close sibling, you know, sibling relationship. You know, I oftentimes wonder, you know, maybe my sister and I should have been closer. And I mean that in the normal sense. I'm not talking about, you know, incest. It's nice to see siblings who love each other and have a close relationship, who are good friends and all that kind of stuff, you know? So I don't understand why it had to be something more than that, though. I guess that if I sound like I'm condemning this, you know, this incest thing between Miku and Mafuyu, I'm wondering, like in the sense that why did it have to be that? Why is Japan seemingly so obsessed with this? But that's how it is. And again, that's only like the half of it, if that. It's like, somehow it just seems even more the fact that she did it with her brother while he was a ghost. So now she, in Fatal Frame 5, again that confirms the information I discovered about what was happening in Fatal Frame 3 when I went through the Wikia a few weeks ago, trying to just have some particular questions answered about, you know, what was happening in the game. In Fatal Frame 5, Miku has given birth to like some kind of demon daughter. She's half light, half shadow, half living, half dead. It describes her as something like that. And eventually Miku does die on account of that. The fact that she gives birth to such a creature on account of having screwed her brother at the end of Fatal Frame 3. I just don't understand. It's like, it's obscene. I'm sorry. It's like, just in the sense is like, why did it have to be that? This is way too out there. This is way too crazy to be appreciable at all as a story element. And that, as when I told that to Lantis, I was like, you know, it doesn't totally like ruin. It's not like, oh my gosh, I hate Miku now on account of that. No, I still can't help but like her as a character, as a heroine. It just puts a damper on the whole, just kind of the whole, my love for Fatal Frame, you know, as a whole, this series. And that's kind of what Lantis says, like, kind of puts a damper on it. I guess he says it best. It's not like I hate Fatal Frame now all of a sudden, or even hate Miku. It's just, I can't help but I can't look at it the same anymore, you know? So yeah, that came out of nowhere. I meant to rant about that in like a separate video, but I thought since I was looking at the Peanut couple a minute ago and I mistook them for brother and sister because they have like the same names virtually, it's just like one sounds masculine, one sounds feminine. Earlier in this chapter, here in Princess Tomato and Salad Kingdom, I've been ranting about a different game this whole entire time while LPing a different game. Yeah, Pisha and Pija, just the fact that I mistook them for brother and sister at first, it instantly made me think of the recent developments, what I learned about Fatal Frame as a series, the dark secret, I suppose. So yeah, guys, if you're still willing to play the Fatal Frame games, I still recommend it. Just know that there's something that happens sort of off-screen, just off-screen, from the gamer's perspective, what he sees happening with Rei, the main heroine of Fatal Frame 3. There's something going on with the side heroine, who is Miku in that game. There's something kind of just not right going on at the same time in the ending. So if you like the ending, well, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't ruin it for you. Okay, so let's talk to Percy. I kind of was going back and forth aimlessly on the menu here. I know I checked all the... I know I checked the interior, but maybe do we just use the battery in general here, or where's the battery go? Okay. Now that I'm more focused, not talking about a whole different subject. Can we move into the seats? No. Oh, okay, we can't move out, so it's somewhere in here. Percy is urging me to... They're the controller seats, so let's go to the panel. Let's check the lever. Okay, do I hit the switch? Okay, that's what we do. Or not. Hit the panel. Let's go back to checking the panel. Maybe that's where we... No. Well... Percy, can you give me a hint on how to make this happen? Battery go. Okay, not that I think there's much of a point to this, but... Well, obviously the medicine is going to be used as for something later, because... I could not find the DIce-o-Matic at the end of Banana's cave here. without going back to the hermit and getting the medicine from him, even though it had nothing to do with... Obviously, that was a failsafe to make sure I didn't break the game, continue on in the story without a critical item. Oh, well, the medallion has been used. Can't go back. Or maybe I can now. Looks like the start switch. Is there something to fight? Okay, no. Hit the lever again, push the lever, and nothing happens. I don't remember what the instructions had, what the LF instructions had to do with anything. So, just in case that can still be used, if that has anything to do with the DIce-o-Matic, I am going to have to... Okay. It says consult Percy. I can swear I did that already. Check the vicinity? I could swear I hit that option already, but okay. At some point during my rant, anyway. So, where's the battery slot now? It says he found it when I checked the vicinity for... Oh. Okay. Alright, looks like we're kind of heading off into the final stages of the game, even though I could swear there's like 3 more chapters to go. Okay. Let's, sorry, I meant to hit the lever, not check it. Or not. Do we go into the seats, or... I mean, this thing is powered on, right? You know what, let's just on a whim. Let's try going back out. No, Percy is still urging me to start it. Did I actually use the battery? Yes, I did. There are 2 seats. Just recheck everything. Nothing special in the vicinity. Anything to take? Make up your mind. Okay, well apparently it's still in place. Well, hit the lever and let's... You know what? I know. I'm gonna go back and recheck the footage just to be sure, but I know I hit that lever at least once since putting the battery back in. Okay. Interestingly, we are still not at the end of this chapter yet. There's a big tree ahead. The minister's DIce-o-Matic. Oh, are we about to, like, fight these guys or something? Oh boy, the maze music is back. How do we fight them? Get closer. Well, before we do anything rash, they're here to protect Sopville. I don't know what kind of name that is. Before we move forward to talk to them, let's make sure Percy doesn't have any particular advice. Can we, like, sweet talk him into... No. Okay, let's move closer. Whatever. I like how it had a little gleam in its eye just now. Oh, it still does. An occasional animation here. In fact, offhand, that's kind of the first animation on any one of these screens in the game, in the entire game so far, that I've even seen, so nice touch, I guess. Percy, do you have any advice? Can we beat him? Let's see here. I'm just gonna say fight. Oh, doing rock, paper, scissors again, apparently. And it's the same general graphic for an enemy, and then Percy is the one at the bottom facing him, I suppose. I don't remember how we choose a command here. Okay, I beat him with rock. I pressed up for rock, so no. Is he always going to use scissors? Apparently he eventually uses scissors every time, so I just gotta make sure I beat him in the look this way part of the... Okay, he looks either to the left or right. There we go. I just happened to get him paper by accident. So, is this going to be the fight screen every single time we do battle? Like, it's always going to be a rock, paper, scissors game? Including that extra little bit where you have to look in the same direction as them in order to complete the turn for, you know, with a win? We destroyed all... Yeah! We destroyed Mr. Pumpkin's entire army by fighting one guy. A guy with apparently a blender on his head who all we'd have to do is headbutt us, and I'm pretty sure I'm mincemeat. I mean, just from the way they looked and the fact that they were called DIce-o-Matics. I beat him with a rock, paper, scissors game. One of them. And I ended up destroying all of them. Except Mr. Pumpkin, the one bad guy remaining. He is going to be our last challenge in the entire... Oh, either that or he is the final boss of this chapter, and maybe there's something more going on after this? Not the final boss of the game, or maybe I beat him and he runs away. I didn't look that far ahead in the walkthrough, so this actually did genuinely take me by surprise. Okay. Now what? Yeah, Percy fights him for me. That's what a knight does, sends Squire off to do his fighting for him. Uses somebody as a meat shield, basically. Oh yeah, I feel like the hero right now. Well, I wonder if this one is genuinely by chance. And there's actually no hints we've gathered. I don't recall any advice on how to fight Mr. Pumpkin. Like, his fighting style. Like with, I know that happened for at least one guy, if not two, earlier in the game. Before this chapter, which I've been on the same chapter, like chapter 6, this entire day so far, so... Okay, he used scissors, and now he's going all crazy, bobble-headed. Try to look in the same direction as him. Up? No. Let's try rock again. Does he ever go up? I'm guessing it's left or right. And I have no idea what, like, the icons mean at the bottom. Does that mean... Is that signifying the number of rounds there are left that I have to beat him? Or... is this... like... I mean, maybe it's his life bar, because the icons kind of look more like him instead of Percy, considering the two little... antennae on the head, so I'm guessing that's him, not Percy, since Percy has like leaves on his head. So I'm gonna guess this is not like a life bar number of times Percy has left that he can lose before it's game over. I don't know. Uh-oh. Okay. Pumpkinhead's got me this time. He beat me. Got him that time. It looks like he... like the DIce-o-Matic guy, it's just left and right that he's gonna look. So if I happen to beat him, I'm guessing I'll alternate between the two. He looked left last time, so if I beat him again with the rock, paper, scissors part, we'll try looking right. Nope, he got me that time. Okay, and I looked in a different direction. Rock. There, got him. Nope, he looked right again. 2 times in a row. Okay, 1 life left, it looks like. Just gotta beat him one more time before he gets me. I assume if he gets me, that like restores his life to full, because that's what seemed to happen a second ago. Nope, he got me. Nope, he looked right again. Dang it. Really fooled me that time. Okay, well, is that the end of Pumpkinhead? Yeah, he escaped. Friggin' chapter still isn't over. There's some strange looking grass. Oh, hey, it's that chameleon grass. So that finally came into play. Let's take some of that grass. So now what? How do we use it? I figured you just eat it or something. Okay, well, maybe that was a one-time item and we don't need to, like, pick up a quantity of it. Yeah, it's great, Percy. The right half of the instructions. Sorry, was that on the ground? Okay, oh yeah, LF stood for left. Like, need to put these two instructions together for something. Can't go back, our DIce-o-Matic's broken. So, did we get stuck in a tree? Okay. Can't, like, slide down the trunk to the ground or something? Well, maybe the instructions will tell us how to use it, buddy. Well, let's continue to check everything else. Oh, look at the right instructions. It explains how to use it. Really? Why couldn't I just read it by using it from the item menu? Put it in your mouth and turn around 3 times. Well, let's do just that, shall we? Well, I can't say I was thinking of hamburgers or pizza at the moment, but I should. So was that good or bad, or do I need to try it again? Oh. Oh wait, I thought farmies. Okay, maybe I had that totally backwards. I could swear, like, I guess farmies are pumpkin heads men. So now we are. Oh yeah, that's the end of the chapter because Percy always throws some crap away that we don't need anymore. And you know what? As ridiculous as it might sound offhand, it does simplify things. It keeps me from wasting potential time in later chapters using items anywhere and everywhere that have nothing to do with anything anymore. So I will not argue. Okay, so, well, I guess that's the end of that chapter. That was actually, that took quite a long time. But now we're in Sopville, disguised as one of the enemy. We'll see what happens in. This is Sarah's Night. Thanks for watching, guys.